Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is week 4 of the O.W.L Readathon reading vlog, and I got a week coming ahead of me because this week is gonna be tough as crap because, as y'all know from my previous vlogs, going into week 3 I was 1 book behind. Now going into week 4 I am like 6 books, but not behind, but I am like 3 books behind, meaning that I have to read 6 books. So luckily one of them is already started. Starting the week off with Crooked Kingdom. I am about halfway through. I'm right there. I am on page 233. As y'all know, I am participating in a 25 and 5 readathon as well, which ends today. And then these are the other 5 books that I have to read for to complete the O.W.L's Magical Readathon. Luckily, we have a very short book, which is The Horse and His Boy, which is the Chronicles of Narnia. We have 1 True Loves, so I'm thinking that's going to be a quick read. And then we have my biggest fear is Rebecca, because that is like a pretty dense adult romantic suspense book. The Kiss of Deception, I'm not too worried about. YA I can get through pretty quickly. And then the Star Touch Queen, I don't know yet how I feel about that one, but not too bad. So like I said, I am in the middle of a 25 and 5 readathon, so I am hoping to get this one finished today, fingers crossed. So those are my reading plans for this week. They're intense, I know. Why do I do this to myself? Also, there is the creators of 25 and 5 are doing the original one, because the 25 and 5 that I'm participating in right now is through Bibliophile Prints. She has a bookmark shop and a Society 6 shop, and she just decided to do her own 25 and 5. But on the 25th, the actual people that I think they're the ones that created the 25 and 5, I don't know, but they're known for their 25 and 5s. They do the 2 and 8, or 8 and 2. I'm sorry, they do the 8 and 2s and the 25 and 5s. They're doing a 25 and 5 on the 25th that I am participating in. So hopefully with the ending of today's and then the start of the 25th, I can get in the majority of these books. I am going to go ahead and get to reading because, like I said, I have a very hectic week with reading. I have a busy reading week. What? I have a busy reading... I have a busy reading week. I don't know how I read without being able to talk. I have a busy reading week, which is not something that I'm complaining about, because I could be busy in so many other ways. But I'm going to stop babbling, because then I have 3 hours of footage to edit for a vlog, and that is super hard. So I will update you guys whenever I have another update. I will talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday, and I normally don't update on Wednesdays, but we are currently under a tornado watch again. It is like pitch black outside. It's been raining all day, thundering. We've had severe thunderstorms and blah, 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 blah. So the weather has been perfect to read all day. Reading update, gonna make this short and sweet. I finished Crooked Kingdom. Oh my gosh, I finished this one today. I loved it so much. Once again, I cried. Sobbed is the better word. I don't know, I've said this a million times, but Leigh Bardugo always makes me cry. She has a way to make me ugly cry. I mean, I had like tears coming out of every angle of my eyes. It was crazy. But finished Crooked Kingdom, 5 stars, needless to say. We'll get more into it into the wrap up. But I have decided to get into Rebecca now. Oh, really quick. This fulfilled the transfiguration for sprayed edges of the O.W.L's Readathon. So currently I am sitting at 5 unfinished O.W.Ls. So Rebecca would be Defense Against the Dark Arts. For Reducto, a a book that starts with the letter R, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna start this now. I did get the audiobook off of Scribd just to follow along with it. I actually began to listen to the audiobook, but I listened to like a paragraph maybe just because I wanted to make sure that I liked the narrator and stuff. And it had like this eerie vibe to it. Like the woman's voice had this eerie vibe. So it's like perfect for today. I'm going to enjoy this weather with this book and a cup of hot tea that I'm actually steeping right now. And I will catch you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, so it is Thursday and I am home alone, looking like a hot mess, but I am home alone and I decided to do some reading. As y'all know, yesterday I finished Crooked Kingdom. I was gonna say Six of Crows, Crooked Kingdom, and I loved it so much. It made me cry, blah, 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 all the usual from Leigh Bardugo. But I know I told you guys that I was going to read Rebecca next, and I did start Rebecca. It was the perfect atmospheric scenery for the weather yesterday. I'm listening to the audiobook while reading it, and I am loving the audiobook. The lady that does, that narrates, the narrator, or her accent is perfect for the book. And I feel like I'm understanding it more, and her voice is like eerie. She does the different character accents as well, and like voices and stuff. I'm loving it so much. I think I am only, damn, I don't have the book with me, but I think I'm only like 40 pages of the way into that book and really, really enjoying it. That's a very slow pace, like a slow burn kind of book. But today I was sitting in my room and I thought, crap, I had checked this out from the library, the Kiss of Deception from the library, and I have to return it on the 30th. And I know I can extend it if I wanted to, but the 30th is the last day of the readathon anyway. So if I don't read this for the readathon, I don't think I would be reading it at all. Maybe in the future, but the readathon finishes on the 30th, so I have no need to extend it. So I thought I would start on it right now. I am currently on page 28. I mean, I just literally started it. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm also participating in the 25 and 5. It's the official 25 and 5 page. And so they started the 25 and 5 today, which just, if you don't know, basically means you read for 25 hours. You read 25 hours worth in 5 days. So basically you're splitting up 5 hours of reading per day. I just finished one last weekend, which will be in my week 3 reading vlog. We're almost at the end of week 4 and I still haven't uploaded or even tried to edit that video. So things are going great in that department. But yeah, we started another 25 and 5 today. My peoples went out. They went shooting at the range and then to do a couple other things while I stayed home reading. And then after I read a little bit more, I'm going to try to get like, I don't know, like an hour to 45 minutes of reading in. And then I'm going to clean my house because I have been a mess. I have been neglecting my responsibilities around the house. And I haven't been doing anything. So I'm gonna have to clean my kitchen, my fridge, my pantry is a disaster. I can't even find anything in there. I just need to go through all of that. But first, read like a very responsible adult. Hey guys, Friday morning here. I've got an update on my reading, and my reading time, I think it's about 2 to 3 hours for the 25 and 5. Not a lot, but whatever. So I am currently on page 204 of The Kiss of Deception. I feel like I'm flying through this book for the time that I've been reading it. For the time that I've been able to pick it up, better yet, because this is going on the second day that I've been reading this book. 204, it's a very fast-paced book, and this has an element of surprise to it, to where we don't know who the prince is. They're we have a princess. She flees. She doesn't want I guess an arranged marriage, and she's set to marry a prince from another kingdom. So to have an alliance between both kingdoms, obviously she doesn't want to. She finally decides to escape, and the prince goes after her, but she also has somebody else going after her. And so we have these three different perspectives, but we don't know who the prince is and who the other person is. She's hiding out in this little town, I guess we can call it. And so yeah, she's talking to these two guys that are looking for her, one being the prince, but you don't know what perspective is who. And so I liked that. That makes it go by quicker, because you're like, which one's the prince? I mean, you almost, for me at least, it's been hard to try and figure it out. Like, I'm trying to figure out with the little things that they say, but at the same time, I'm like, well, of course, she's going to put that, the author is going to put that there to make you think it's this one. So that is making it go by really, really quick, because I want to find out who the prince is. And, you know, you see who she is, not favoring, but who she talks about more, and you're like, oh my gosh, is that the prince? And so that element makes it a really, really fast read. And you know, it is YA, so to me, YAs are really, really fast reads. So having a really good time reading this. I'm hoping to finish this pretty soon. I'm almost halfway. I would say I'm like about 45% of the way through. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish this today, because at the rate that I'm reading this, it's going by pretty quick. So that's it for the update right now. This will complete my herbology owls. So yeah. Hey guys, so it is Sunday and I have a quick update for you. My glasses are glaring. I have a quick update for you. I have that much left on Rebecca. This book is so good, and I'm glad that I'm finally getting to read it, because I am so mesmerized. When I stop listening to the audiobook, it keeps replaying in my head. I can't stop thinking about the story. I can't stop thinking about the characters. The atmosphere is just incredible. I cannot believe that it's taken me this long to finish this book. So I am currently at 17 hours into the 25 and 5. So I have 3 more hours for today. I think we are on day 4 today. Yeah, today is day 4. I'm at 17 hours, and it's been this book and The Kiss of Deception. Also, when I started it, when I started the 25 and 5, I started with The Kiss of Deception, but or I was like a little bit into The Kiss of Deception, maybe, I can't remember. But this book has just had me so enthralled that every second that I get, every time that I can sit down and listen to the audiobook, I just go for it. I don't even want to read the physical book, because the narrator of this audiobook is just incredible. Her accent, the way she delivers the different characters is just so engaging to me. And I am like, I mean, I've listened to audiobooks. I've listened to Michelle Obama's. I'm still listening to that audiobook, but I love how she tells it. I listened to, what was this last audiobook? Ready Player One. I've listened to audiobooks, and although audiobooks are not my favorite way to read, or I mean, honestly, I despise audiobooks. I feel like that whenever I can't read a physical book, the audiobook is the way to go. But by far, Rebecca has to be the one audiobook that I am obsessed with. Yeah, so amazing. I'm gonna go ahead, and what I've been doing lately is I've been doing the color by sticker. This is so much fun, you guys. I cannot believe how much I'm loving this. I've already done 3 of them, but right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to Rebecca, and I'm going to do some color by sticker and just lose myself in this. So that's what I'm going to go do now, and I will update you guys later. Hey guys, good morning. It is Monday. I'm not closing out the vlog yet, because the readathon ends tomorrow. Today's the 29th. It ends tomorrow, Tuesday, so I'm just gonna keep it going until tomorrow. because that's all I'm planning on vlogging. So we are on crunch time right now, and I have a little update for you guys. So let's get to it. If I can find my books. So I finished Rebecca yesterday. I don't know if I updated you guys. I don't think I did. I finished Rebecca, and oh my God, what a phenomenal book. I ended up giving this 4.5. We will get more into it when we do the wrap up. When I wrap up the vlog. But it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. If you have not read this book, I urge you to read it. I urge you to listen to the audiobook. Even if you're not an audiobook lover, I'm not an audiobook lover. As a matter of fact, I will get into the audiobook I'm listening to, because since we are on crunch time, I am like trying to put in every little second of reading that I can. So I'm listening to another audiobook, and I'm hating it, but you got to do what you got to do. So even if you don't like audiobooks, I highly suggest this audiobook. It is phenomenal. The narrators, I still don't know who the narrator is. I will look it up and we'll touch on it on the wrap up, but oh my gosh, beautiful how this lady narrated this story. So we have 3 books left. I know many people can do 3 books in 2 days. I cannot, but I will try my best. So I started One True Loves last night. I'm just on page 17. I actually started reading it when my husband stepped out to go get some dinner, some fast food dinner, which was right here, and he came back. So it was like, I think he was gone 20 minutes. And I read for like 10 or 15 minutes of it. I only got 17 pages in, but this to me feels like it's going to be a super fast read, and super easy read. So can't say anything yet about this because I'm only 17 pages in, but the way it starts, it's like, whoa. Then last night, I'm like, I need to find an audiobook because I was wide awake in bed. And thank God I found an audiobook because I didn't go to sleep till 3 o'clock in the morning. So I did a puzzle on my iPad and I listened to an audiobook. And the audiobook is The Star-Touched Queen. And this is for, let me see. Star-Touched Queen is for astronomy. And then One True Loves is for Muggle study for contemporary. I got 100 pages into this one. I stopped exactly at chapter 10. This is going in a whole different direction than what I thought. We have 2 kingdoms, a girl that's going to be married, or so she thinks. They're going to marry her off, but she has like this dark astronomy foretelling on her, and so everybody like treats her so bad. I was like so upset through this whole book of how her family treats her, and then there's like many wives, so she has many mothers, as if I'm understanding it, and then she's gonna be married off, and everybody's like, what, and then something happens. There's kingdoms, fight rival kingdoms, all this stuff, and then she is swept away to another world. I didn't expect, I know this is fantasy and that it was like kingdoms fighting each other, you know. I thought this was going to be another, you know, with a magic system. I thought this was going to be almost like another Kiss of Deception, and I was almost like hating that I left them so close together. But there's a whole nother fantastical element to this which took me by surprise. I did not read the synopsis of this. I bought this one without knowing what it was, just because it had Star on it, and it was like last minute, and I'm like, okay, so I chose this one, but I didn't read the synopsis. I still don't know what's going on, but it has a whole fantastical element that I'm just like, what is this? So this is the audiobook I'm listening to. I hate the audiobook. I hate it and I love it. I feel like the narrator, when she's telling the story of the protagonist, she's so like monotone and so like whatever. But when she does the other characters and the accents to the other characters, I love her. And those parts I love. But when she's just narrated from the protagonist, she's just like very dull. And I'm like, oh. But like I said, I'm going to push through because I mean, we are on crunch time, people. And then my last and final book is a really short book. I haven't started this one yet. I was actually looking for the audiobook of this one, but because this is such an old book, the audiobooks can be a little tricky. So tricky. It's tricky. Tricky. Anyways, 80s. So I couldn't find the audiobook for this one, but this one is only about 200 pages long, 200 plus pages long. So I'm going to try to just get it in somehow. So I wanted to try to do a 24-hour readathon. I think it's going to be 10 o'clock. If it's not already 10 o'clock in the morning, I wanted to do from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. I don't know how that's going to go. We're going to give it a try, and I'm just going to put it in this same video. I'm not going to do that many updates, but I'm just going to do my own 24-hour readathon to see if I can really finish all these books. Whenever I can't sit down to read, I'm going to be listening to this. And whenever I could sit down to read, I'm going to be reading this. So wish me luck, people. Wish me luck, because I really want to finish this. I really want to complete these 12 books. And it would be a record for me. I mean, I'm already at a record. I've already finished 11 books this month. I'm already at a record. So I'm pretty happy with myself. But 2 of those books, one of them was for review through NetGalley. And then the other one was another review book that was really small that I had to get in. So 11 books. I got 3 more. That would be 14 books in a month. I have never done that in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie, I am a little bit burnt out, but I guess it's just the challenge of doing these 12 books is just keeping me going. I hope that I don't slump in May. I'm praying that I don't slump in May, but we will see when we get there. I'm gonna go to listen to an audiobook, and I will update you guys when I have an update. Bye. Also, one more thing. Today is the last day of the 25 and 5. And I'm already at 22 hours for the day. So, super excited about that. I have 3 more hours to go to complete the 25 and 5. This is the first time ever that I am completing a whole 25 and 5. I am like, and this is thanks to the owls, because if it wasn't because of the owls, I wouldn't be putting in all these hours. So, super excited about that. And those are all my updates. So I will see you guys later. I can't even talk. Excuse the lighting, but I wanted to come on here really quick. It is Monday evening. I think it's like around 8:30. I'm still reading the Star Touch Queen. Oh my gosh. I am on page 212. I only have that much left. But I just completed my 25 and 5. It is the first time that I ever complete this. I cannot believe it. I feel so accomplished, so excited, but I haven't completed my owls yet, and we have 1 more day. I will be so disappointed if I don't finish the owls. I still have that left from a Star Touch Queen, and then I have all of this, and I still have all of this. Oh my gosh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to complete it. May 1st, I'm gonna be like, you know what, I don't even want to look at a book. Stay away from me. But I have 2 read-alongs I'm participating with. I'm participating with, gosh, I can't even talk. I'm participating in. I actually have a buddy read with my friend for The Nightmare Girl, and then I joined a read-along for The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum with a couple people, or not a couple, a few people over on Instagram. So other than those 2 books, I do have a TBR set for May, but my hand is shaking. I do have a TBR set for May, but you know, it's gonna be a pretty chill month of reading. I'll probably only read those 2 books, and that's it. But anyways, I just wanted to update you on my 25 and 5. I'm so excited. My face is so swollen. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's because I'm eating all the shit in the world. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna get back to listening to the audiobook for A Star Touched Queen. I hope I can finish this. I really hope so. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, so it is the final day of the O.W.L's Magical Readathon. And I finished The Star Touched Queen last night. This was a little surprise for me. As you guys know, I just bought this book because it had Star on it. I didn't read the synopsis. I just went ahead and got it. I know Roshni Chach's, she's a YA fantasy writer. I do have The Gilded Wolves from her. I was going to read that for the O.W.L's Readathon, but I didn't. And so I just bought it. I didn't read the synopsis or anything. I'm like, it has Star on it. Let's go. And wow, so surprised. This is the second book in this month that I'm surprised with. At the beginning it was kind of meh for me, but I ended up really loving it. I didn't know the twist that it had. I thought that this was just a fantasy in the way of just having magic. This has like a whole like fantastical world to it. It was weird. It was, sometimes I felt like I was on the verge of being confused, but I never got to the point of being confused. It was always very clear. But I really loved it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. And as I was going through it, I was like, I know this is part of a series, but I'm just going to buy this one and read this one. It's not something I'm really interested in, so I'm not going to continue the series. But after finishing it last night, I was like, I'm going to continue the series because it's really good. Yeah, this was a little surprise. And I was, like I said, I was going to read The Gilded Wolves for this readathon, but it had so many mixed reviews that you know, I've always heard that her writing is very beautiful. And so when people were, reviewing The Gilded Wolves, it has mixed reviews. And so I was like, oh man, I don't want to read this. And then I went into this one a little bit more, I guess, guarded in a way, since the other book hasn't gotten good reviews. And I really haven't heard any reviews for this because, like I said, I wasn't interested in the book. But after reading this, I'm like, man, I want to read The Gilded Wolves now. I really liked it. I'm pretty surprised. I don't know if it's just that I'm in a YA fantasy kick right now. I am like going strong with YA fantasy. But anyways, I need to start babbling. Today is the last day and I still got 2 books left. I just got the audiobook for One True Loves so I can listen to it. This book is about 300+ pages. I plan on having my earbuds on all day long listening to it, and then I have the Chronicles of Narnia, which is about 100 and something pages, maybe 200 pages. So fingers crossed. I don't know if she ends the readathon on her time or if we have the whole day, like if it finishes on the different time zones. I'm not sure about that. I hope I can still put in my page count to be part of the readathon, but either way, 2 books. I think I can do it, you guys. I think I can do it if I stop chatting and if I don't get on social media. It's a gloomy day, it's rainy, so it's perfect. I'm having my coffee. I'm gonna listen to One True Loves while I play some video games. I will see you guys a little later. I know, guys, I'm boring. I'm routine. I can't do nothing about that. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, welcome to the closeout of the O.W.L's Magical Readathon. We are done. It is currently Wednesday. Readathon finished yesterday and I just woke up. I'm having my coffee and I'm here to close out week 4.5 because obviously we went into week 5, but only for 2 days. So I just decided to keep everything in one video. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you know all the books that I read for the last week of the Magical Readathon. So the first book that I started and finished, or maybe just finished for the 4th week, was Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Y'all know Leigh Bardugo is bae to me. Her books are just my fave. I ended up giving A Crooked Kingdom 5 stars. Of course, I loved how it ended. Well, you know what? I can't say that I loved how it ended because I wanted more from Kaz and Inej. I wish we would have gotten more from them too. Granted, they still are young. They are very young in the book. From my understanding throughout the reading, you know, they are young thugs, so, or hooligans, or whatever you want to call them. And so I understand that they're still young and they're still trying to battle everything that they've been through. I mean, they've been through a lot. So physical touch was very hard for them, and just trying to trust one another and all of that. So I understand why we didn't get what we wanted. I wish we would have, in a way. Loved it so much. Again, I did cry. I cry in all of Leigh Bardugo's books, even the Grishaverse, the trilogy, I cried. I don't know what it is, but there it is. The next book that I started and completed was The Kiss of Deception. Man, this last week and couple of days, I've been pounding the books. I've been pounding the audiobooks like you have no idea. And that's how I was able to complete all of my owls. Oh, I didn't mention that. I finished them. I finished them all. I finished the last book at 2 a.m. though, so it's a little bit cheating, but I'm still counting it because I hadn't gone to sleep yet, and I read the 12 books that I set out to read for the month of April, and I am so proud of myself. And I'm counting that last book. I already input it into the spreadsheet for our page counts on Twitter, and I'm happy. So anyways, next book I started and finished was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. So surprised with this book. Y'all know that I had been wanting to read this book, or yes and no. And that's why I checked it out from the library, because I've always heard so many good things, but because of the cover and because of the title, I was just like, I don't know, so I'll just check it out and see what I think. I'm going to continue with the series. What a surprise. I loved our main character. She is so kick-ass. I love the element of mystery that it has, to where you don't know who the prince is, who the assassin is. And just the whole scenery and atmosphere of the book is amazing. She is kick-ass. Although she is a fleeing princess, she is fleeing because she doesn't want an arranged marriage. And so, she's kick-ass. I love how it ended. I am definitely, when I return this after I do my wrap-up video, I am going to check out book 2. Really, really liked it. I ended up giving this one 4 stars. The next book that I started and finished was Rebecca, and I listened to the audiobook for this. I know that I've said this a million times in this vlog, but even if you guys don't like audiobooks, I definitely recommend the audiobook for this. This is in the gothic genre. This follows an unnamed narrator. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. She is unnamed, and all we know is that she meets and marries Mr. De Winter, Maxine De Winter, and Rebecca is actually his ex-wife that died. And so she comes to live in this house, and she's basically haunted by the memories of Rebecca. I wanted a little bit more from the ending though. I ended up giving this one 4.5 because the ending was just a little bit, I liked it. It was a good ending, but I ended up wanting more from it. There's a suspense, there's a mystery with the death of Rebecca. It was just so phenomenal. It's a slow burn. It's a slow mystery. This is most about the atmosphere. The atmosphere in this book is just incredible. The mansion, the gardens, and the audiobook, the narrator is amazing. She actually, her voice is spooky. The way she does the characters is amazing. 4.5, amazing, amazing book. And I hate that it took me so long to read it. The next book that I started and finished was The Star Touch Queen by Roshni Chokshi. I always mess up her name. This was another surprise to me. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I went into it blind, as I already told you guys. I didn't know what this was about, only that it was a YA fantasy. This is an ex-library book, discarded. Really, this book has never been read. It was from the Chicago Public Library. It's never been read. There's not even a scuff on any of the pages. I bought it for $4, but they got to do that to a book. Pissed me off. But I loved this book so much. I'm going to continue the series. Elements in this that I just did not expect. I just thought we were going to get almost like another Kiss of Deception. A girl that doesn't want to get married, a girl that flees. But it's so much more. There is magic, but it's in a fantastical land kind of way, as I already told you guys. I spoke more in depth about this one during the vlog because I was so surprised about it. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. 4 stars. I am going to continue the series. I'm glad that I own it. I love it so much. I will say that my only gripe, my only complaint with this book is that it's overuse of metaphors. Like, oh, the beauty of it was like this and the beauty was like that. And she touched this like the flowers of the... It became a bit much. At the beginning, it was beautiful writing, but then it became a bit too much. And I was just like, okay, I get it. The thing is beautiful. Let's continue. You know, it was like so many metaphors, so many descriptions of things, like over descriptive, which bothered me a little bit and made it a little bit like I just wanted to skim through those parts. And that was mostly during the first half of the book. During the second half of the book, really enjoyed it. It was fast paced. It was weird. It was so weird that I loved it. 4 stars. And the other book that I started and finished was The Chronicles of Narnia, The Horse and His Boy. I ended up giving this 4 stars. I normally give Chronicles of Narnia 5 stars. Although this was a very, very good book, there was a part that just made me bored. Here we follow Shasta, and he is the son of a fisherman. And one night, this man comes and stays at his house, which basically means that he has to go and stay in the barn to render the space for the visitor. And he overhears his dad talking to this man, and this man is asking him, hey, how much for your son? I know he's not your son. How much for him? And the little boy is overhearing all of this, and he runs away with a horse. With a talking horse from Narnia that was kidnapped. And so it's just them trying to get to Narnia. They run into another horse and another girl that are trying to run away to Narnia. It's full of adventures, but I found part of it, as short as it is, I found a part to be just a little bit boring and dragged out when we were following Shasta. So yeah, but you know, middle grade Chronicles of Narnia, how can you not? I still gave it 4 stars. I still enjoyed myself. I read this one in one day. It's short, but I was in between this one and then the next book that I'm going to talk about, but loved it. Then my last and final book that I closed out the month with, my last book for my owls, was One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Guys, I don't know if you can tell that my eyes are swollen because I was up until 3 in the morning crying with this book. I'm just thinking about it. I'm getting like, my eyes are watery. This is still fresh and raw in my mind. My husband was sleeping next to me and I was trying not to, like, I couldn't even breathe out of how much this book just made me snot. It was so good. I didn't expect to love it so much. I know that this has very mixed reviews, or not very mixed reviews, but there's the majority of people love it, but then there's just some people that hate this book. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. Here we follow this woman, and she has a crush on this guy in high school, Jesse. But nothing ever comes up within the first, I think, couple of years. She was like, had a crush, but he had a girlfriend and she was just like, whatever. Her parents own a bookstore. She works at the bookstore. She hates working at the bookstore. She wants more out of life. One day she goes to this party, runs into Jesse one more time, and they start a relationship from there. They start a relationship from the police department because they get caught drinking and stuff at this party. They end up getting married. But the book starts off with her finishing dinner and getting a phone call from her dead husband while she's at dinner with her parents and her new fiance. So anyways, the relationship goes from there. He goes missing on this trip that he takes for work, and it takes her 3 years to meet somebody new, and you know, stuff happens. The description of her grief when she first loses the love of her life is just, I can't talk about it because I choke up. I cannot imagine having to go through that with my husband. And then her relationship after her husband dies, her relationship with her new fiance, it's just so tender. And you know, basically she has to choose one or the other because her husband comes back. And it was just so gut-wrenching. It was just so, I felt so bad for her having to be in this predicament of, she finally decides to move on 3 years later, and here she is now. What the hell? You can feel her grief, you can feel her hurt, you can feel her confusion, you can feel the pain in both guys, in Jesse and the other guy. You feel their pain. I loved it so much. And that was it, guys. I completed all of my owls. This was for Muggle Studies. This was for Care of Magical Creatures. This one was for astronomy or astrology. Astronomy or astrology. Whatever one of those two. This one was for, I think, Defense Against the Dark Arts. And then Kiss of Deception was for herbology because it has plants and grass and all of that in front of it. I completed my owls, guys. I'm so proud of myself. 12 books in the month. Like, wow, I can't believe it. I'm so happy. I completed my first 25 and 5 completely. Completed my first, this is my second readathon that I complete fully. My first one ever was a Tome Topple a couple years back, 2 years ago. But I feel so accomplished. 12 books, you guys. I am so happy. I'm sorry if this vlog is long. I haven't edited yet. I'm feeling good, you guys. I'm feeling good. Thank you so much for coming with me on this journey. And I'm so glad that I got to document this and record it. For as boring as I am and boring as my videos are or my vlogs are, I'm so glad that I have this documented and I can look back to it with accomplishment. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this journey with you. Thank you so much for joining me on it. And I will see you guys in my next video.